Welcome to Heal We Grow, the podcast where your journey of enlightenment and self-discovery begins. I'm Kelsey Grace, here to guide you through the realms of spiritual activation and conscious creation. Together, we'll tap into the heart's deepest wisdom, unlocking the transformative power that resides within each of us. In every episode, we'll explore the pathways to a life filled with joy, purpose, and boundless love, proving that the most profound healing comes from within. So whether you're well along your spiritual path or just taking those first tentative steps, you found a place of growth, enlightenment, and heartfelt connection. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's embrace the journey. Welcome to the Heal We Grow family. Hello, Heal We Grow family. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Kelsey Grace, your host. Today we will be diving in to the rise of the feminine. And this is a powerful, potent conversation today. And I can't wait to share all the magic behind this paradigm shift that we're all going through, and what this means for you, what this means for the collective. And I'll of course be sharing my own experiences. I think through sharing stories, it helps us to be able to see ourselves. And the more that I can help you see yourself, the more that you can get to know yourself, the more that you can be aware and set yourself free, allowing yourself to be all of who you are meant to be. And so before we dive in, if you've been here for a while, you know the drill. Go ahead and let's ground in. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just take this moment to be able to turn inward. If you feel called, you can close your eyes, allowing yourself just to slow the breath, taking a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Allowing the fullest of you to become present within this moment, becoming present within this conversation, fully coming present into this intention of allowing whatever is needed for you in this transmission to awaken the spirit within you, where every episode is meant to awaken the spark of your heart. It's meant to awaken and remember and allow a remembrance of you to come online. And my intention is that with every episode and every share that I provide here, it brings clarity for yourself. It brings openings in your heart. It brings truth to ripple through your being. And sometimes the truth hurts, but we know the rest of that statement. The truth sets you free. So may the truth, in whatever way is needing to reach your soul, allowing it to reach into the depths that need it the most, knowing that you are so loved, you're so guided. If you're listening to this, you are guided. Your spirit, your soul guided you to tune in to this podcast, to tune into this episode. So allowing yourself to trust and surrender in this process as you receive exactly what you're needing to receive. And Some things might resonate, some things might not. You just run with what does. And if nothing does, then that's okay too. You're just tuning in and you get to receive anything that you need today. Let's take one more deep breath in. And a sigh of relief. Beautiful. What does it mean? The rise of the divine feminine. Well, each of us has feminine energy. We all have masculine energy. And this whole idea and shift and rise of the divine feminine is the feminine is awakening to the power within the chaos, the power within the sensual energy, the power within the sexuality of the feminine, the power of creativity, the power of flow. And in our culture, the feminine nature, the feminine energy is taking a stand. That the power within the feminine is no longer being held back. And that also means the rise of the dark feminine. And the dark feminine is the parts that have been shamed, the parts that have been repressed and suppressed and told you can't exist in this patriarchal world. And these are the parts of the feminine that hold anger, that hold hate, that hold resentment, that hold shame, all the things that we judge the most, things that we have been taught we're not allowed to express. But those are the parts that hold so much power. It's like when I tap into this energy, I can feel the feminine energy saying enough is enough of holding back our power. Enough is enough of being quiet to keep the peace. Enough is letting others shine and letting ourselves let others shine without us allowing ourselves to shine. Enough is enough of holding back what we want to say, or enough is saying yes when we want to say no, or saying no when we want to say yes. It's owning our voice. It's owning our opinions. It's allowing ourselves to be in a world that was run by the patriarchal ways of doing life, and now those systems are not sustainable anymore because it was built on so much woundedness. And now this rise of the feminine is breaking the hustle culture, breaking doing, and awakening beingness, restfulness, trust, flow, and surrender. Those are all attributes of the feminine. And we're all being called to let that rise within us. And as the feminine rises, it forces the masculine to step up. It forces the masculine to heal. Because a divine feminine woman isn't going to take on an immature little boy. The little boy has to heal and grow into a man. So right now we're in such a sacred evolution of humanity. It is so divine and so beautiful. I see more men now healing than ever. And I thought it was so beautiful to see like women aren't afraid to ask for help. I think it's like, 75%, don't quote me on that. I think it's 75% of those that are in personal development are women, because women are not ashamed to ask for help. I don't know exactly what those numbers are now, but I know that's what it was around. There's more women that are doing the work than men because men have been taught that they shouldn't ask for help. They should figure it out themselves. I mean, they also love figuring things out by themselves. That's part of the masculine energy. But now more than ever, the men are being called forth to step up. And the only way they can do that is if they heal the little boy. And as they heal the little boy, then the man can step up and hold the space for the woman to be free. So right now we're in such a brilliant time within life, within creation. That's why you see so many systems are breaking down so that we can rebuild them. Don't be afraid of the breaking. We need the breaking in order to rebuild and have a stronger foundation. Everything that the world is going through right now, as terrifying it can be, is actually a divine orchestration to realign and bring us closer together so that we can have a stronger ecosystem together. And that's why coming into spaces like this, coming into communities where we're standing tall together and not being in the world of separation, but being in the world of unity and oneness, together, healing together, rising together, sharing our voice, speaking our truth, speaking of the light, is more powerful than ever. Healing is more important than ever. The world is starting to see that when we don't heal, that's what creates this suffering in our life. Because your childhood experiences, no matter what you've been through, everybody has trauma. And those things carry into adulthood. And it is a path that is, it is one of the hardest paths one could ever take, is the path of liberating your soul. Claiming the power of your soul is the bravest, most boldest journey you could ever step into. And healing is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves, because we are saying enough is enough of the abuse in our family. We're saying enough is enough of the patterns of alcoholism, or the patterns of self-hatred, or the patterns of sexual abuse, or the patterns of not enoughness. You're creating new pathways for the generations to come, where the generations believe in themselves, where the generations want to create and do good in the world, for the generations that want to save the world, for generations that want to start their own businesses because they believe in themselves, or they take the bold risks in their life to do what their dreams in their heart are. To follow your dreams, that's a rare thing in this world. We need more dreamers. We need more people following their hearts and their souls, because when you follow your heart and your soul, you are impacting the world with your gifts and your dreams to come true. And so why is this all relative to the feminine? Because the rise of the feminine loves to create harmony. The feminine loves beauty. The feminine is where creation is birthed. And when we are dancing in our feminine, we're creating from this place of surrender, of trust. And in that place, that's where magic is created. And as we are starting, at least this is what I have found to be true in my life. Take this on however you feel called. For me personally, I've been initiated into a much higher level embodiment of my divine feminine. And that role, that stance, that calling, that embodiment has pushed me to the edges of my beingness, especially in these last few months. But it has become the most liberating for me to be as free as I am now. I am more free now because I accepted my power within the divine feminine. And what I found is that when I led with my feminine essence, which is my core essence, instead of leading with the masculine, I realized when I was leading with the masculine energy was like, I need to get this done. I need to get XYZ done. I have to have these kinds of goals, have these types of things done. And that was coming from a place of lack. It was like I needed to have these certain things done by this time, by that time. And that was coming from this place of distrust. But when I tapped into the full embodiment of my feminine nature, I was embodied in trust and flow and surrender, where I let go of needing goals or dates. And this is really, backwards from what we've been taught. But that's why we're in this paradigm shift, because when I shifted into this, not only did my business take off, but my growth took off. My money has tripled. Like everything accelerated because I let go of the typical 3D goal setting type of ego creations. And I started to tap deeper into the soul dimension of creation, where the soul trusts. The soul is embodied in love. The soul is embodied in surrender, in enoughness, in it's already done energy. So I shifted out of needing to get things done and shifted into, what does my soul want to create today? How does my soul want to express itself today? How does my soul want to love today? What would ignite so much play? What would ignite so much ecstasy and bliss in my life today? And I'm going to start with that first. And I would start with that first. And then I was so magnetized. Every area of my life rippled because I was in this magnetism of my soul, not needing to have goals to be done by a certain date. And those are good too, right? I'm not judging those. This is what has been working for me. And I have things that I desire and want, and I put out, and I think about that, but I say, is this from the ego? Is this from the soul? Because ever since I shifted into the feminine nature of my embodiment, I'm in the energy of trust, trusting that everything that I desire, everything that I want, everything that is meant for me is already there. It's already done. And I'm just going to surrender and allow God to show me, pull me, drop into my heart where and what I should do next. And this is like a day-by-day basis. And then now that's how this podcast was birthed. I thought about doing the podcast 2 weeks ago. It dropped into my mind, dropped into my heart. And it said, do this. I said, okay. Took the leap, built it out, and here we are. I drop into my heart. What should I talk about today? Rise of the divine feminine. Okay, let's go. I don't plan so much about what I'm going to say. I just know and trust in this embodiment of my divine feminine that the right information is going to flow through. That what I need to share today is going to impact the listeners in one way or another. That what I shared today is going to ripple out. Because when I surrender into my feminine, which is my ultimate power, my true essence, my core energy within me, when I'm in that, that is the most powerful energy I can come from. It's the most impactful because that's my core, because I'm in trust, right? I'm in surrender. And so why is this so important? is because right now, as we're shifting collectively, if you can probably feel that there are some things shifting in the collective. Like there is massive energy shifts within ourselves and in the energy. You can just feel it. You can feel it in the air. It's like things are changing, things are shifting. You can feel it. It's like you are an intuitive being. You can tell that things are changing. And either we can resist it, which causes more suffering, or we can surrender to it and go along with it. Because there's something greater, grander, more magnificent that's running the show, that's trying to support us in our evolution. And we can either stay locked in the perspectives of the old that will hinder our growth, that will bring more pain and suffering, or we can learn from the pain and suffering and allow ourselves to shift into the new frequency that we are being called to embody more of. We're being initiated to embody more light, more love in our body. And in order to embody more light and love, we have to purge and cleanse the density and the things that are not aligned in our spirits anymore. And so the rise of the feminine is calling us to trust more. It's calling us to surrender more. It's calling us to break the hustle culture and step into more of a space of relaxation and creation. And the more that we can relax in our reality, the more you can spend time resting and rejuvenating your spirit and your body, the more you're going to be able to have the resources to solve the problems in your life. But if you are on empty and you're hustling your way through life, like I have to get this done, this and this and this and this, and you're burnt out, you're not going to have energy for those problems. You're not going to have energy to fix your finances. You're not going to have energy to take care of your family. But if you can learn to surrender more, do less, and be more, and play more, and flow more, then you're going to be able to take the actions that are necessary and needed. But that's why if you can allow yourself to let go a little bit and to trust, knowing that you're getting exactly what you need, how you need it, when you need it, and everything that you desire is already done, then you get to actually let go and be in the flow. And I'm telling you, this feels so much better than needing to be in a rush. For the most of last year, I was in such a rush to get my dreams done. I was in such a rush to make an impact. I was in such a rush to, impact millions of people, make millions of dollars, and have everything on my desires list done. And yet God was telling me, you need to slow down. And I was like, I don't want to slow down. I want to speed up. So I was literally going against the current. And it was killing me. I was getting sick. I was depressed. I had suicidal thoughts. I was going against the grain of what the universe was trying to support me in doing, which was surrendering. And once I surrendered and let go of trying to rush my life, and I let go of the expectations, and I let go of doing. Like last year, I worked so hard to create programs. I worked harder, and then the effort didn't ever seem to reciprocate on the outside. And I was like, okay, there's a little bit of a disconnect here because I'm exhausted, but things aren't being reciprocated. And I don't feel good because I realize that I'm taking action out of the masculine because I feel that I need to do more in order to receive more. I feel that I need to create more, but like from that doing place that I'm not enough, or what I'm doing is not enough, or what I have is not enough. So when we're doing out of the not enoughness, there's a disconnect. And so no wonder I was like doing when God was just asking me to please pause, slow down, do less, be more present, play more. Because if I'm doing to get, then I am also coming from the wounded masculine. But when I shifted out of that and decided that I'm just going to have fun, I'm going to be in my feminine, I'm going to create from this source of doing what lights me up and knowing that my message is just to change people's lives. I don't care how it's reciprocated. I just want to change people's lives because I have so much wisdom. I have so much gold that the world I know could change people's lives. And it doesn't matter how they take it as long as they can just receive it. And so I started to create free events. I started to create free ecstatic dance events. I started to host free cacao ceremonies and free women's circles. And I had these events and I was feeling so fulfilled and I was feeling over the moon, and lives were changing just by these connections and from these experiences. I shifted into having fun. And then as I was in this flow, life started to reciprocate. Abundance started to flow in. My business exploded. And it wasn't about the numbers on social media. I have a small following on social media, and that doesn't even matter. None of those things mattered. I actually relaxed more and received more. And now I have so much more peace because I'm working less but receiving more. Because now I'm in the alignment of my feminine nature. I'm in alignment with my spirit. And when I'm in alignment with that, the action becomes very effortless. Because when I'm in that alignment, then I get to easily flow into the masculine within myself that takes action, because I know exactly how I'm going to dance between these energies. And we get there by connecting and pausing. Okay, why am I having resistance? Why am I having resistance in taking action? Where is there a disconnect? Do I feel like I'm taking action out of force, or am I taking action out of flow? And this was another awakening for me recently, was action with my book. I had put a goal to release my book by the end of March of 2024. However, I'm coming from this energy of force, and it does not feel good in my body. It does not feel good. I felt that I had created that goal just to get it done and to please others. But it's not pleasing me, and I'm not having fun. And the energy behind it doesn't feel aligned with me. So then I realized, okay, why am I trying to force something out? Can I have fun doing it and be in my flow and get it done on a timeline that feels in alignment with me? Because the masculine, a wounded masculine, uses pressure. And yes, pressure is good too. Diamonds are created under pressure. But it takes a long time to create a diamond. It doesn't happen really quickly. So the pressure, there can still be pressure, but it doesn't have to be so short that we're traumatizing ourselves. And that's what I was doing to myself. Just re-traumatizing myself just to get something done, because in the wounded masculine energy within, there was a part of me that just wanted to feel enough by getting it done. Instead of coming from a place of, I am already enough. Even if I don't finish it, I'll still be enough. Now there's so much less pressure on myself to get it done. Big shift. Big shift. And that's why this work is so transformational, because when you sit and dig within yourself of why you're doing the things that you're doing without judgment, you get to learn something about yourself. And so within yourself now, through what I've shared, how can you honor all of you? You're honoring the masculine and the feminine. And where are you being called to surrender more? Where are you being called to trust more? Where are you being called to rest more? You don't have to work so hard. And this isn't undervaluing working hard, because it's all a paradox. It's both. And things can be a lot easier than we're making it. Things get to be easy. Things get to be effortless. And we reach the effortless when we hit the resistances within ourselves, and we go digging for the gold that's within the resistance to liberate ourselves so that we can come back into our natural flow. Come back into our rhythm, dancing between the feminine and the masculine and having fun and enjoying it. Life is precious. We should be enjoying this experience. So how can you play more? Maybe you can crack jokes. Man, if I had a joke right now, I would say it. I'm working on my humor skills. It's a dream of mine to be funny. And some people have told me that I'm getting funnier, and I'm really working on it. So if you can attest to that, thank you. That's probably the greatest compliment I'll ever receive, is like, you're so funny. I love that. How can you add more play into your day? More laughter. I heard this quote by Bashar. He's my favorite alien. Yes, he is an alien. Yes, I believe in aliens. I love aliens. I love all things like that. Aliens are coming. Don't even get me started on the aliens. But Bashar is an alien that channels through this guy named Daryl. And he says, if you want to be enlightened, you need to lighten up. Ah! That is like my favorite line. Seriously, if you want to be enlightened, you have to lighten up, not take life so seriously. So let this be an invitation for you to have more fun, giving yourself permission to have fun. Bring more playfulness, more laughter, more joy. Do what brings you joy, because we are not meant to live our whole life working and then by the end of our life start enjoying it. To me, that makes no fucking sense. Like, no fucking sense. Why are we meant to live and then at the end of our life enjoy it? That doesn't work for me. Let's enjoy it now. Let's enjoy it now, because life is precious. You don't want to be at the end of your life saying, man, I wish I took more risks. I wish I started a business, or I wish I went after that relationship. Or I wish that I just traveled more, whatever it is. What is it in your heart that is calling you to do? And that's why when you step into the energy of the feminine flows. The feminine takes action in the way of trusting in what the heart says. The feminine listens to the heartbeat of your soul. Because the mind will try to make sense. A lot of times even the masculine will try to make sense. It's the logical side, which we need to. It's part of protection. But within the first 5 minutes of your soul telling you the thing that you need to go and take action on, or the thing that you desire to do, you get this inner calling to do something or create something or be something, or a desire. Within 5 seconds, the mind will immediately come in to tell you why you shouldn't. The logical part of the mind says, oh, but you don't have the money, or you don't have the time, or you got kids, or, mom and dad told me that it's not possible, or society wouldn't think that's appropriate. Within 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, the mind will immediately come in to tell you why you can't do it. Which is why you must immediately trust within the messages that are coming to you. And you build that muscle of following your heart and your soul, because a lot of times your heart and your soul will guide you to do things that make absolutely no sense. No sense at all. When I met my healers, their program was $15,000. I just started my business. I just started my business. This was several months after the assault. But my soul told me this is where you are meant to go next. I had $600 to my name. $600 to my name. I had just moved to Florida. I had $57 in my bank account. And I didn't have a place to live. I didn't have friends. I was at my grandpa's guest room, who also thought that I was never going to make money doing what I did. And everyone around me told me I needed to get a job. Everyone thought that I was still too broken to help other people. But I had this mission and this drive and this vision that no one else could see. But everyone else around me was like, okay, Kelsey, but you gotta, they had all their limitations and I just didn't give in to any of them. But when I met one of my healers and she said it was $15,000 and I gathered $600, I said, I'm going to figure it out. My mind said, Kelsey, you don't have the money. You don't even have clients. You don't even have a place to live. The mind was telling me that none of these things make sense. It doesn't make sense for you to invest. It doesn't make sense for you to do this. But my soul was like, this is the step. This is where you're meant to go. Even if it doesn't make sense in your reality, you have to trust me. So I said, yes. I gave the $600. And then guess what? Within 2 weeks, I not only manifested my dream home, I manifested 4 clients that helped me pay for the program. I manifested 2 tribes, obviously this online community, and then a community in person. And I was living my dreams because I followed what my heart and soul said, even when it didn't make sense in my reality. Faith and trust will take you further beyond what you could possibly imagine. But when we take those leaps of faith and trust, which is the embodiment of the feminine, and flow and surrender of your soul, miracles happen. Miracles happen because you know what? The universe favors the bold. So when you step up boldly, even when things in your present moment may not reflect what you think is necessary and needed for you to fly, and you decide to fly even when you don't have wings yet, knowing that your wings are going to spread as you jump, that's when the universe grabs all these angels to support you in this leap. I truly believe that. Because I knew that I just had to try. I just had to try. What's the worst that could happen? I couldn't pay for it. Okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. But I knew that I needed healers. I knew that time for me to invest at a higher level, because I knew the impact that I wanted to have was going to require for me to step up bigger. So I had to invest more. And then I realized the energy around money, the money in my bank account didn't reflect the true source of my abundance. I figured it out. I ended up selling my car. I sold all my belongings. I made it happen because my soul was like, you're going to figure it out. You're going to make it happen. I believe in you. And I did. And then I invested in their one-on-one, which was $75K. The money came too. Same concept. I just use that example because it's so easy for us to let the mind and the fear and the doubt hold us back from doing the things that our soul is calling us to do. And when we're in that state of trust and flow and surrender, we're not doubting. We're letting go of thinking that it's only us that's needing to figure out this life. And we're actually allowing the universe to come in and help us. But if we're in the hard masculine all the time, doing, then there's no room for the universe to come in and help. That's why it has to be a dance between both, because you allow yourself to trust and fall into the feminine energy, and then you can effortlessly take the action from that place of trust, and then you're grounded in trust. Game changer, my friends. Game changer. Game changer. life-changing. And so we're being, like I said, called and initiated to really surrender more, to relax more, to trust more, to play more, to create more. When you're in your soul, when you're in this alignment with you and your spirit, you naturally just want to give. You naturally just want to love. So that's why healing is the most incredible gift you can give yourself, because you're becoming in alignment with the highest iteration of you. Every level you're embodying more of you, and the true essence of you is your soul, and your soul is pure love, and pure love wants to give, pure love wants to create, wants to give. And that's the beauty of healing, because you heal yourself and you give more of you to the world. And that's the greatest gift that you could give the world, is the gift of you. And that's why I'm so passionate about healing, because I'm seeing so many of my clients right now. I have one woman who started less than 4 months ago. She has not only changed every area of her life and quantum leaped in every area of her life, she has not only doubled her income, she has tripled her income under 4 months. She has started a new business following the heart of her soul and has already received clients, doesn't have social media, doesn't have any of these things outside of her setup that we expect that we need. But because she was in alignment with her soul, already attracted clients in, attracted beautiful, intimate relationships in, feels more whole, embodied, enough in her power. She's starting to share online her heart and her soul. And that is a hard thing for a lot of people. It was definitely hard for her too. But she's processing and connecting and giving the gift of her to the world. And that is the best gift that we can give. And I have so many clients. Actually, all of my clients so far have been with me since day one. I have not had one client that hasn't been with me, which is really beautiful. They've all come back and they've stayed in my inner circle because they see the power that healing is a lifestyle in this community. My goal is to create lifelong relationships, not one and done. I want to spend life with you. I want to grow with you. And so I've had clients that they started to heal themselves, and after they had their awakening, they're like, I got to share this out with the world. I got to help other people realize what's on the other side of their pain. I've had one client who lost 4 children, and now she's helping other people through their grief. Her transformation was absolutely mind-blowing, because in the process of her last 2 children that passed away, she awakened to God. She didn't, her grieving process was so different because she could feel her children with her. And it literally cracked open her soul so much that she felt one with God and one with everything and one with her kids after the death. She doesn't even consider it a death. She calls it a transformation, a transition, a coming home. She's written a book now, spoken on different platforms. Just amazing, the things that my clients have done. And it came from being able to go into the depths of our own darkness and illuminating it from within. Because as we rise in our power, as we rise in our greatness, the world gets blessed with our beingness. And so as we're allowing ourselves to surrender more and more and more and more into our beingness, then we get to just exist. And in that existence, that is enough. And in that enoughness, then you get to do and create and have anything that you desire. Everything else is a bonus. So how can you take the wisdom and the medicine of today's episode and bring it into your heart, bring it in to your life. If you feel called, close your eyes for a moment and just feel the wisdom of today's episode rippling through your being. What is your heart calling for you? What is your body begging from you? Maybe is it more rest? Is it more play? Is it more trust? What is it for you? And let the whispers of your heart be the guides of where to go next. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's scary. I mean, that's what makes life worth it, right? Is doing the things that scare us. Otherwise, it'd be pretty boring. It makes it exciting to do things that scare us. That's where the growth comes from. I dare you to follow your heart. I dare you to follow your heart. Thank you all so much. Let me know if you have any takeaways from today. Feel free to message me or comment or just journal for yourself. You don't have to share with me if you don't want to. I just love hearing how these episodes impact you in your life. It allows me to see how this is rippling into other people's lives, right? I feed off of your energy too. So when you share, it supports me too. So, and all those around you. I love you so much. Thank you for being part of the Heal We Grow family. I send you so much love. May these words, may this episode bless every area of your life. May the wisdom reach into your heart and awaken the truth of who you are. Thank you for tuning in today. I'm sending so much love, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Heal We Grow. Thank you for joining me, your host, Kelsey Grace, in our journey towards healing and discovery. Remember, every step you take is a step closer to unlocking your boundless potential. Keep in touch for more episodes that inspire and enlighten. Feel free to follow me on social media at Kelsey Grace Hall. And if this episode touched your heart, please share its light with someone who may be in need of this healing magic. Until we meet again, please nurture that beautiful heart of yours, embrace your creative power, and always remember, in the grand tapestry of your existence, your spirit is the most potent medicine. Farewell, and may your journey